What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the show on a Wednesday after Game 1 of the World Series. What is up, everybody? Welcome in Ryan, William, VP Collectibles, Steve, Brick Commander. Am I missing anybody? Apple Plays. I see you guys in the chat. Welcome in. We are ready to do this thing. We're going to talk about Game 1. And I think that the Astros, I'm not going to say the Astros are in trouble. That would be absolutely ridiculous. It's been one game, but I am going to say that they got to fix something. We're going to dive into what needs to change. Otherwise, they're done. Big thing that stood out from me in Game 1 that if they don't change, they're done. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into that whole thing. But first, let's take a minute and let's sort of let's take a look back on Game 1. Just a quick run through on everything that went down. For the first time in a World Series game, the very first hitter hits a home run. It's Soler breaking out the power. Now here's what's interesting. One of the X factors, I gave you 3 X factors for yesterday. One was Martin Maldonado. That turned out to be irrelevant because Charlie Morton got hurt. We'll talk about Morton in a minute, what that could mean for how the Braves are going to set up the pitching. But one of the X factors was the DH. Who was the DH last night? It was Soler, and he hits the home run to start this thing. Now, with the lefty on the mound, if there was no DH, Soler's probably starting, and Peterson is coming off the bench anyway. But the fact that the Braves were able to have the extra bat, didn't have to make that decision to go with Jock or Soler. Maybe if there was no DH, maybe it would have been Jock out there and not Soler, and we wouldn't have had that moment because maybe they were going to go with Jock because of his World Series experience. But that was not even in Brian Snitker's mind. He was able to get his guys out there. All 4 of those outfielders get to play because of the DH, and the DH, Jorge Soler, hits a home run to start. That was one of my X factors that I gave you. The other X factor was AJ Minter. And AJ Minter, I did not expect him to play this much of a role in Game 1 and now to be really a very big arm for the rest of this World Series. I had a feeling we would see him earlier in the game if it was needed, not from an injury standpoint, more from a moment standpoint, right? If he was coming in with a runner on first and it was Yordan Alvarez and it was the 5th inning or 6th inning, that's where I thought we would see AJ Minter first, but he has to come in because Charlie Morton is hurt. And what does that mean for the Braves? Well, I'll tell you this. If the Braves didn't win last night, it would be really bad news. The fact that they won gives the Braves a little bit of room to breathe. That win lessens the impact of the Charlie Morton injury. Because if you're down 0-1 and you only got 2 healthy starters left, you're kind of in trouble. Because you need those 2 healthy starters to somehow win 4 games or you get a bullpen win. So now they're in a situation where they need 3 wins. And you will see Fried 2 times and Anderson 2 times. So they got to win 3 of their starts. All right, and you'll have a bullpen day mixed in. I think you'll probably see this. The Morton situation is interesting. I think you'll line it up to where you have Fried tonight. You'll have Anderson in Game 3. Game 4 will be a bullpen day. Game 5, you might see. Can you see back-to-back bullpen days? Do you go with Max Fried on 3 days rest at Game 5? And if that doesn't work out, you get a day off, and then you go Game 6, and you have Ian Anderson on better rest for Game 6? Or do you go with A.J. Minter to start what would have been Charlie Morton's next start? William, you have Kyle Wright going Game 4. Do you trust Kyle Wright is my question. That is my thing. Who do you trust more? Kyle Wright or Drew Smyly? William, you're my long-term Braves fan. You've been with me for a long time on the channel. Who do you trust more, Kyle Wright or Drew Smyly in the situation? So what the Braves do is going to be interesting moving forward. What decisions they make. Brian Snitker's going to have to have to consider a lot. But last night, again, just running through the game, then we're going to get into what's going on, my thoughts on the Astros. So you get the Soler homer. That first inning, I mean, the Braves came out and just punched the Astros in the throat. And the Astros had a tough time getting up after that. Valdez just didn't look good. And we talked about Valdez. He is a better starting pitcher on the road than he is at home. It's almost like he doesn't know the Crawford boxes are out there, as Soler put one in the boxes and then Duvall put one in the boxes. So it's almost like he doesn't know that that's the situation. So it does not work out for Valdez. That first inning, though, amazing. Taco Bell, sorry, but you don't get to do your steal a base, steal a taco thing for, the next 2 or 3 games and try to build up any anticipation because it's already been done. Ozzy Albies gets everybody a taco that, my Taco Bell doesn't participate, so I get no taco. It's participating Taco Bells only. My Taco Bell does not participate. Kind of sucks. That's a me problem. But anyway, forget that. So that first inning goes through, and the Braves have the early lead, jumping on the Astros. A big, big, big situation there for Atlanta. Really, if Atlanta wins the World Series, we might look at the first inning of this game as where Atlanta took the momentum and ran with it. We'll see how the rest of the series goes. The bottom of the first, we see a lot of what we're going to see the whole game. Altuve out on strikes, Brantley with a hit, Bregman is out, and then because of that situation, they can work around Alvarez. It does get kind of dicey there as the Astros load the bases, but they are unable to put a run across. Again, a moment that we'll see how the rest of this thing goes, could be a defining moment. In the second inning, Travis d'Arnaud gets on the board. Travis d'Arnaud, the coldest bat, gets a base hit to start things off. Then Peterson gets a hit. Soler reaches on a fielder's choice, and d'Arnaud comes in to score. So the Braves get the 3-0 lead. That is all they end up getting. The second inning, Charlie Morton with a much smoother inning. This is the situation where Morton gets hurt. In the bottom of the second, very first batter he faces is Yuli Gurriel. Gurriel hits one back to him. It hits off his leg, and we find out next inning that it broke his leg, which, again, that's just brutal. He continues to go out there on a freshly broken leg. Apple plays. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there were a couple big flyouts. Yep. There were some that all night there were near home runs. But yes, Swanson did have the big flyout. So Yuli Gurriel in the second, out. Morton balls off his shin, and he goes and strikes out Chas McCormick after that. Maldonado lines out. Third inning, we get the Duvall home run after Rosario gets on base. You have the team, you have the lineup at this point for the Braves working well together, right? The next man is doing their job. The man before is getting on for the next man. That is big. That is something that we did not see much with the Astros last night. So at that point, the Braves get the 5-0 lead on the Duvall home run. Valdez is taken out, and then the Astros bullpen locks it down. Just one run the rest of the way for the Braves in the 8th inning. Atlanta gets the 6th run, but Houston is only able to manage to only really 2 times in this game at all. If you're a Braves fan, are you kind of worrying, these Astro bats look like they're about to break out? They really don't. And the final is 6-2. Atlanta takes game 1. Yesterday's stream, we did the predictions. We put the whiteboard up. I'll put the whiteboard up again in a minute. I want to get your game 2 predictions. But we had the whiteboard up. We had more Braves picks than we did Astros picks. It was close. I think we had about 2 or 3 more Astros picks over Braves. So it was close. It was about 55-45 Braves. But they did. At J22, they did look good last night. No doubt about it. Steve, a 103 exit velo. Just think for a second. Let's give Charlie Morton a hand. Because if I took a 103-mile-an-hour ball off my leg at his age, he's in his late 30s, okay? It's not like he's in his 20s. It hurts more in your late 30s. And he stays out there, gets a couple strikeouts, gets some more outs, and then finally his body gives out on him. Dude, Charlie Morton's a gamer. It's really unfortunate that he is done for the rest of the postseason because he's establishing himself, and this window's not going to be open for long because of his age, but he's establishing himself right now as one of the best postseason pitchers right now. Do I go on shows as a guest? Yeah, I'll go on shows as a guest. I haven't done much lately, but yeah, I'm happy to go on to other channels. I can tell you that my timing is tight because I'm also a dad. I've got a couple kids, but yeah, I go on shows as a guest for sure. Let's see. Apple Plays Luke Jackson showed a lot last night. Big stuff from Luke Jackson. We talk about the bullpens here. So let's talk about the Braves bullpen. So AJ Minter comes in, gives 2 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run allowed. The first run he has allowed in a postseason, or this postseason. That's the first run he has allowed. AJ Minter had not allowed a run until that moment. Luke Jackson comes in. Luke Jackson, Mr. I can't pitch in the postseason, but I'm great in the regular season. We see the regular season Luke Jackson last night. 1 2/3 innings. So he gets 5 outs. 3 of them were courtesy of a strikeout. 1 hit allowed. Luke Jackson, that's huge. Especially if the Braves are going to need, you won't have Minter tonight. Really, the after effects from game 1 that could be felt in game 2 is I don't think you're not going to see AJ Minter tonight. He's the only arm, in my opinion, that you wouldn't see. I think Matzik, you could see Matzik again. You could see Jackson again. Obviously, you'll see Smith again. But the one lingering effect would be Minter is probably not available tonight. And if Luke Jackson is going to be that good, then he's in good shape. And VP Collectibles, that is right. It was an error that allowed the run. Still got an earned run on that from the box score. That was the Dansby Swanson play. As a baseball player, you gotta let the ball get to your glove. The hand went down too soon, and the bare hand guy. He was doing the right thing. He was going to use 2 hands to get the ball, but the bare hand came in too soon. So ultimately, that allows a run in on Minter. Matzik allowed a run, but that was it. Over on the other side, the Astros bullpen, again, after Valdez goes out, really tough. And surprisingly tough. I tweeted out, when Yimi Garcia comes in, those lefty Braves bats have to be salivating. Now, he only pitched the 1 inning. I think he only faced Jock Peterson. He didn't get around to any of the other guys. But Yimi Garcia, with his best appearance out of the postseason, he'd been bad. Jake Odorizzi, the only other time we saw him was getting lit up against the Red Sox after the Garcia start back in Game 2 of the ALCS. And Jake Odorizzi comes out and, looks like he might be saving the game for the Astros, keeping this game from getting completely out of control. 2 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Jake Odorizzi was his best self last night. It turns out that it didn't matter because the Houston bats were not their best. Odorizzi was great. He kept the Astros' hopes alive, but it didn't matter. Maton, a scoreless inning, though it did get a little hairy. Poor Ryan Stanek has a moment that will, unfortunately for him, live, be one of those plays that you see on the gag reel, unfortunately. And Joe Buck, I think Joe Buck very casually killed Ryan Stanek with his quote at the end that he goes, Ryan Stanek will exit after that, putting the exclamation point on Ryan Stanek, just trying to get the ball, but you've been there, right? The ball's just moving a little faster than you are, and you can't get to it. So he stumbles, and that was it for him. He gives up 1 run, and then Brooks Raley, who also, Dusty Baker, give him credit. He goes with Garcia, Odorizzi, and Raley, the three of the guys that have not been pitching that well for him this postseason, all pitching Game 1, and they do well. They do well. They keep the game close, but the bats aren't able to get it done. Looking at you guys in the comments, we're going to get to my Astros thoughts here in just a second. William, Jackson, Matzik, and Smith will pitch every game. I agree with that. I think the only time you don't see Smith is if Houston's going to win it and it's decided. But I do think you'll see Jackson and Matzik every game. You empty the tank right now in the World Series. Dr. 8, Altuve needs to hit better. That is going to be the point that I'm going to get to in just a minute. Braves did a great job. They jumped on him early. That first inning is a momentum-setting inning, and they set the momentum in their favor in that first inning. Smoltz fail was funny. I agree. And they played that. They played that later in the game. I saw that too. The Smoltz, he made the comment. He's like, he thought the bag was closer than it was. And yeah, that Smoltz play is funny. William, you see Smoltz make him feel better with the clip of him doing. Yep. Yeah. That Smoltz clip, that's hilarious. I wish I had it. I don't. But if you don't know the Smoltz clip, I'm sure if you Google it or search for it on YouTube, you'll find Smoltz trying to get a ball, sort of pushes off the first baseman. It's like, I got it. He stumbles, he turns, he thinks he's going to land right by the bag to sort of put his glove on the first base bag and get the out, and he's nowhere close to it. It's pretty funny. All right. Let's talk about my thoughts as far as the Astros go. I am, and it's in the thumbnail, the Astros are done, and I have Altuve in the thumbnail for a reason. J22 Sports, you've got the Braves in 6 or 7 if they win tonight. I'm holding with my Braves in 6. So, last night, Jose Altuve, 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts. Alex Bregman, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Carlos Correa, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Did draw a walk, did drive in a run on a fielder's choice. Those are the notorious bats in this lineup. The weight of the non-Astro baseball world is on their shoulders. They have to do better. Is that weight too much right now? We haven't really... Correa has had a couple of good moments. Altuve has had a couple of big hits. But outside of 1 or 2 pitches, the collective for the entire postseason is hurting the Astros, and it showed up last night. Now, they're here, and they're here thanks to Yordan Alvarez. They're here thanks to some shoddy Red Sox pitching. They're here thanks to Kyle Tucker being a beast. But here's the problem. If there's nobody on base for Yordan Alvarez or Kyle Tucker to drive in because Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa are not getting on base, that's not going to work. Collectively, 0 for 12 with 6 strikeouts and 1 walk last night from those three. Those three, it's the ABCs. The Astros will only go as far as Altuve, Bregman, and Correa will take them. If it is anywhere near that again, they will lose that game. Every single time, they will lose that game. Think about this. If Altuve goes 2 for 5, 2 for 5 isn't asking much, and Bregman goes 1 for 4, and Correa goes 1 for 3 with a walk, I think it's a completely different game. I think the Astros probably win game 1 if Altuve's on base, because Brantley goes 3 for 5. Altuve is probably in on at least one of those. And then you got Bregman. If Bregman gets a hit, he can drive in Brantley, so you get another run there. If Correa's getting a hit, he's probably driven in because Tucker goes 2 for 4 and Correa goes 2 for 4. Those three, if they don't get it together, the Astros do not stand a chance. Any game where those three have a performance anywhere near that, they're done. The Astros don't win that game. That's what they need to fix. Altuve, draw a walk at least. Get on base. 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts, was swinging at the first pitch. He got out on the first pitch at least once or twice. So Altuve, it's not all on Altuve. It's that collective. It's those three. Altuve, Bregman, and Correa. 0 for 12, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. And it isn't just last night. This whole postseason, you could say, has been building to that situation. Altuve has not been hitting well in this postseason. The argument is that he has had some, he's had big hits, right? And I even brought it up that he has, when he's been on base, he has scored runs. That's great. That's great and all, but the problem is when you aren't getting it done in more ways, you're in trouble. So altogether now, Altuve for the postseason is hitting 178. Alex Bregman is hitting 256 with a 349 slugging. And Carlos Correa is doing fine. Carlos Correa is 275. But that Altuve 178, the Bregman 256 with the 349 slugging is hurting. And if the Astros don't get that together, this thing is over in 4 or 5. I expect them to get it together. But if this happens more times than it doesn't, it's trouble. All this really, what happened last night for the Astros, all that really needs to do is happen one more time. If that happens, if that gives the Braves another win, then Atlanta just needs to win 2 games where those guys are hitting, and you try to slow down, Alvarez and Tucker and Gurriel, and they could do that. Or a game turns into a slugfest, and the Braves can play in a slugfest. So if that happens one more time, where those 3 go hitless, it's a problem. Brisk JC, who am I rooting for? I do not have a dog in the race. I am a Blue Jays fan. I have picked the Braves to win in 6. That was my pick before this thing started. So that is my feeling on this situation. I want you guys to know what is your key moving forward? What happens tonight? William, you've got Fried will be a beast tonight. What I like about Max Fried, just 2 walks all postseason. Just 2 walks all postseason. He has been pretty good, and you got to like that. VP Collectibles, in my opinion, tonight is more important than last night because all they need is a little momentum to get going. If we go up 2-0 with 3, you feel pretty good. Yeah, exactly. VP Collectibles, tonight, it builds, right? It's building now. If you jump up 2-0 and you're going home, you're in great shape. No doubt about it. Oink Ching Inc. We live in an upside down world. Braves have a clear advantage tonight, so the Astros win. That's a good point. You would think the Astros being the home team, having the World Series experience, having the postseason experience, all that would have had a better shot last night. It didn't work out. J22 Sports, Houston took 2 out of 3 at Fenway. That being tonight is still a must-win for the Astros. Yeah, the Astros can win on the road, and Framber Valdez is a better pitcher on the road, so that's a good thing. And Valdez was great in Fenway Park. Andrew, what about some terrible ump calls against the Braves? The umps are going to be terrible in their moments. You're going to have bad calls. You're going to have missed strikes, missed balls, that whole thing. That usually evens out. William Baker, the national media has done a great disservice to Astros fans, playing down how good this Braves team is. But how? I would ask William how. Playing down how good this Braves team is a disservice to Astros fans, meaning that Astros fans come in and they think they're just going to sleepwalk through this thing and win it? Is that what you're kind of getting to there? Let's see. Apple plays. Thoughts on Garcia being pushed back until Game 3? I think it's a terrible decision, Apple. I think that is an awful decision, having that move. Luis Garcia is really good at home. An amazing pitcher at home. And a bad pitcher on the road. We're going to take a look at Urquidy. We're going to take a look at Game 2 in a minute. The difference between Garcia at home and Urquidy on the road, if Urquidy were to get a Game 3, is huge. Urquidy's a much better pitcher on the road. So I think it's a huge mistake. I think Dusty Baker is making a mistake. Let's see. Andrew, in the bottom of the 5th, the ump called 2 strikes, which should have been walks. Top of the 5th. I mean, at the end of the day, it did not hurt the Braves. Apple plays plus 1.62 runs for Houston on ump scorecard last night. Busy collecting. I think the home plate ump did a pretty good job yesterday. He was consistent. Obviously, they're going to be close calls, but I think he did well. Watching the game, nothing stood out to me as egregious. It happens. We have to expect that there are going to be balls called strikes and strikes called balls. Okay, we look at the box. The broadcast puts up the box, and it can drive you crazy sometimes. But the umpire umps change the strike zones, and you just hope that it's even. William, how do you think Manfred feels about Atlanta winning the World Series? I don't know, man. Manfred's a maniac. J22 Sports, this is a hard pick tonight because the Astros have to bounce back. I'm picking Atlanta, though. Let's do that. Let's get the whiteboard up. Let me get some predictions from you guys for Game 2. And where's my whiteboard? Let's get that thing up. Game 2. Who wins Game 2? You may call me crazy. I know we have a lot of Atlanta fans in here. I am going to pick Houston to bounce back tonight. So I have Game 2 going to Houston. You guys hit me with your predictions. Let's see here. J22, you have Atlanta. Hit me with your predictions, guys. Let's see. What do we got? Who do you have winning? The whiteboard is up. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I feel like it's hard to see right now. That's a little bit better. So hit me with your predictions. I'm going to try to read your predictions. We're going to look at the two starters in a minute. But you give me your predictions. One good thing about the potential bullpen games for Atlanta is that they are at home. William Baker, yes, this is what I'm getting at. The media has essentially given the Astros a walkover. So they did that with the Dodgers. I think many Dodger fans have a different perspective having now seen the Braves. I mean, I think the Astro fans figured it out last night. These Braves bats are for real. Let's see. Will Smith, bottom ninth, first batter on the inning. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head because again, nothing really stood out as. And again, a lot of times I'll remember it because it led to a run that shouldn't have happened, or the bases are like the inning spiraled out of control because of a strike that should have been a ball or a ball that should have been a strike. KPM, I think the Braves win this series. I personally believe they weather the two difficult series of Brewers and Dodgers here. Very good point. Those are two tough series. The Astros, the White Sox haven't shown it in the postseason yet, and the Red Sox, you could say, were hot. Maybe that just dried up. Let's see. VP Collectibles, Apple plays, I think, because he missed the spot. The umpire thought it was lower. That's part of it, too. How's the catcher receiving the ball? Steve, as much as I hate to say, I agree the Astros bounce back. Let's get Steve with Houston. I just feel like this ends up being tied after 2 games. I'm going to move my mic out of the way. I can't type. Dustin, you have Atlanta. VP Collectibles, you have the Braves winning a 7-5 thriller. That sounds good. I see Rahibra. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. You've got Braves in 6. Who do you have winning tonight? Do you have Atlanta winning tonight? Jay, you have Atlanta winning 7-2. Busy collecting Atlanta is good. You've got them. There you go. I see now. William, I would have been shocked if you said Houston. Apple plays, I could see Atlanta getting a sweep. I think Fried pitches 6 strong innings tonight. Then Anderson 5. Let's see here. J22, you have Houston. They have to jump on Atlanta first. They do. They're going to need to come out strong. Anthony, how do you see Anderson on Game 3? I think he's going to be good. He has the lowest ERA of all the starters this postseason, 2.25. Jeremy, it's possible it will rain Friday and Saturday, which could be huge for the Braves. Dave, you've got Atlanta. KPM, it'll be high scoring. You have Atlanta. It won't be high scoring. You have Atlanta. Okay. Oink Ching Inc. All my baseball knowledge says Braves win, so I feel like Houston wins. But if I had to put money down, it would be for Fried and the Braves to win a close one. All right. Patrick, you have this they have them taking the whole thing, winning 4-2. Who's winning tonight, Patrick? Who do you have tonight? Luis Fernandez. Atlanta's pitching shuts the Astros down. Yes, Atlanta in 6. No Acuna. So you have Atlanta tonight. J22. Houston probably has the best analytics department, so it will be interesting to see the adjustments they make. Patrick. Atlanta 5-2 tonight. Anthony, how do I see it? Yeah, I think Anderson pitches. I think Anderson's going to be good. I think Anderson is going to. I think Anderson's going to drive the right-handed bats crazy, and if he can mix things up against the lefty bats, I like Ian Anderson's chances. I like Ian Anderson a hell of a lot more than I like Luis Garcia in that game. I think Dusty's making a huge mistake. The Braves haven't announced the Game 3 starter yet. Busy. I'm not sure, but it's got to be Ian Anderson. Let me see. Yeah, technically they have not announced it, but I think we all know it's going to be Ian Anderson. I mean, maybe he changes it up. If it's 2-0, maybe they go with a bullpen day for Game 3 and they save Ian Anderson for Game 4. I don't know. I could see that. That makes sense. William Baker, you have Braves winning. Anthony, you think Anderson must pitch around 6 innings Game 3? I think he goes 5 or 6. I think that you could have Ian Anderson doesn't have to go deep into the game because this bullpen is so good. And there's so many good arms coming out of that bullpen right now. It's not like there's only 2 good relievers. The Braves bullpen is a strength. So there's no sense in having Ian Anderson go into high-stress innings, be in a situation where he could, give the game up when you have the bullpen as a strength. Again, who do you have winning tonight? Mostly Braves. I think it's me and Steve, and that's it, thinking that Houston is going to win tonight. Everyone else has the Braves, and that's fine. If the Braves win tonight, I might have to alter my Braves in 6 to Braves in 5. Fried is a great matchup. It is. That's the difference between the Astros and the Braves. The Astros are sending out, not anymore, but in Game 1 you felt confident with Morton. You feel good with Fried. You feel good with Ian Anderson. Astros fans probably feel comfortable with Urquidy, but they know about Garcia on the road versus at home. So even if you win tonight, Urquidy's good at home, but he's not the level that Garcia is good at home. Garcia is a better pitcher at home than Urquidy. Urquidy's a better pitcher on the road than Garcia. I don't understand what Dusty's doing. Plus, Garcia pitched well last time out, and it's not like he's on short rest. I think it's a big mistake. KPM, it's hard to pick against the hottest team in baseball that's only lost 3 games this postseason and tore up 2 of the best pitching staffs in baseball. J22 Sports, almost. Everybody hit that like. Hit that like if you have not hit the like yet. That supports the channel. If you want to show your support for the channel, for the live stream, for what I'm trying to do, the like button is the best way to do it. You don't have to do a super chat. You don't have to do anything crazy. A like is a great way to show support for the channel and for the video. Anthony, my concern is, can the Braves use the bullpen every game? Yeah, I think they can. I think they can. And last night they didn't use Chavez. So he'll be fresh. There's another arm that they didn't use. William Fulgham, you probably got it better than me. The arms they didn't use, but they didn't use Jesse Chavez last night. That's a good thing. Jackson showed that he can be effective. The beauty of this is it's 2 games, then a break. So empty the bullpen tonight if you need to. Everyone gets a day off and is fresh for Game 3. Patrick, I really like the Braves. I'm glad they are back to relevancy. Best front office in the majors, some of the best pipeline and farm system in the league, and one of the best pitching. They do have more coming, and I'm with you. Martin, that's right. Martin didn't go. Lee didn't go. Let's see. William Soler wins MVP with 5 home runs. You got 4 more home runs coming from Soler. If Garcia struggles, Houston's in trouble. Big time, CJ. Huge. Huge trouble. And even if you tied at 1-1, then you go and you give away game 3, and it's 2-1. I think it's a mistake. Busy collecting. The play by Albies in the bottom of the first was a game changer. Yeah. Albies came up big in that first inning with the stolen base, because if he doesn't steal that base, Austin Riley he doesn't score on that Austin Riley hit. Martin, Lee, Smiley. Who replaces Morton on the roster? I have not seen that yet. Have they posted that? I have not. I've sort of been keeping an eye on that on Twitter to see Passan or somebody to post the adjustment. Tyler, you've got Atlanta in 5. Who do you have winning tonight? VP Collectibles Morton just apologized for only throwing 60 pitches on a broken leg. I mean, he wanted to stay out there. I'd want to stay out there if I could, if I was him. Totally. Because he knows when something's wrong. And he's probably like, this is it. I got to try to give him everything I've got, because they're counting on me and I might not be back. Tyler, you've got Atlanta tonight. All right, put you on the board. It's all Braves. The picks are coming in. It's all Braves. I don't know if you trust Tomlin in this situation. I don't know if you would trust Tomlin. You want Kyle Muller? I don't see Swanson comfortable at the plate. Why? As a hitter, you go through slumps. You just hope you don't go through slumps right now. I don't think the Braves have a taxi squad right now. I don't think they have one. I think they ditched it. Wasn't there a team that ditched it? I thought it was the Braves. I don't know if I would trust Tukey. Toussaint, I don't know if I would trust him. Dustin Ward, hottest bat in baseball. Right on, Dustin. Who do you have winning tonight? Wes, just want to show you some gratitude for the great work you do. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Wes. Wes, who do you have winning tonight? Let me put you on the board. CJ, you've got Atlanta. Yeah, do not trust Tomlin. I would not. Let's see. CJ, you have Atlanta. Again, Dustin, who you picking? Wes, who you picking tonight? I don't think I have you guys on the board. Braves from Anthony. It's all Braves coming in. Busy, you think the Braves put Webb back on the roster? That could be a move. That could be the move. Move that around. Realizing I have not been updating the text block. Oops, that's not what I want. Come over here. Let's see. We've got... They did bring extra players to Houston. Okay. Sheriff, you've got Atlanta. Lot of Braves love. I get it. Dustin, you've got Atlanta. King Felix. Oh, man. You know, that's a good point. If one of these teams could have like an old veteran guy that's just like totally washed up but could come out and steal the show like a Felix Hernandez or Cole Hamels, that would be great. I mean, I guess the Astros do have Zach Greinke. He would at this point fall into that category, but I like your point there, Tyler. That's a pretty good one. Wes, you have Atlanta in 6. Who do you have winning tonight? Patrick, crazy how they are doing this without Ozuna and Acuna and Soroka. Don't forget about him. He's not in the situation. And now they got to do it without Morton. Oh, Bartolo Colon would be a legend if he was in this thing. Could you? Bartolo Colon pitched 1 inning in this World Series the internet would explode. I know Felix would. I know he was, but he didn't play, right? Didn't he opt out, or they cut him? Yeah, I don't remember. I remember they signed him. I think I did a video when they signed him. But I don't think he played. Sean Newcomb, that would be great. Do you trust Sean Newcomb? Wes, Atlanta tonight. I got you. It's all Atlanta. Literally, I think we've got about 15, 17, 18, 19 something picks. It's me and Steve are the only ones with Houston. Everyone's riding Atlanta. And I get it. It definitely, if it's more of last night, no doubt about it. Probably a righty. I think they'd take a righty as well. He had 2 games, then sent to AAA, then cut right. Webb or Mueller seems to be the consensus. I trust your 2-year-old son more than Newcomb. I know, Sean Newcomb. Smiley could possibly do damage if he can locate that curveball in his cutter. He pitched. Smiley was very effective against the Dodgers. I think they're going to try. I think Snitker's going to try to, have lightning strike twice with Smiley. I think you'll see a similar situation for Smiley. He'll either be a bulk guy. Maybe we'll see how he lines up Game 3 or Game 4. He could be a bulk guy, or he could be, a starter with a short leash. Anthony, who is playing Game 3, Soler or Rosario? I mean, it's Rosario. It's Jock Peterson sits is probably how it goes. You're going to have, you'd love to have Peterson in there against Garcia. So maybe Duvall. I don't think you can sit Duvall. Duvall's been hitting. That's going to be tough. That's a tough call. But I think you'd probably lean. It's probably Jock. I think Soler starts, Rosario starts, and Duvall start Game 3. Now this could be. That could change. Jock Peterson could hit 2 home runs tonight, and then you can't sit him. Steve, I don't want it, but I'm a homer and stick with. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not like in love with my pick. Like it better be Houston or else kind of thing. But that's where my analytical brain took me. Tyler, if anything, Jock will fall out of the rotation if Soler's going to. No doubt about it. I think Soler hitting the leadoff home run. What did Jock do? Jock yesterday, 1 hit, right? 1 for 4 Peterson. Soler 2 for 5 with a homer. I mean, that's enough. Even if they both have 1 hit tonight or they both have an 0 for, I think you're going with Soler in Game 3. And then you'll have Jock Peterson. The other you have to remember how clutch Jock Peterson is as a pinch hitter in big situations. Exactly, busy. We had that come to us at the same time. Jock is a better pinch hitter, so you would want him coming off the bench pinch hitting. Let's talk about Game 4. Game 4. My brain just glitched. You'll see that from time to time on here, guys. My brain will just glitch. Let's talk about Game 4. What? So let's talk about Game 2 real quick. Let's see. It's Max Fried, Jose Urquidy. Max Fried against Jose Urquidy. This is interesting again. Urquidy was good during the regular season. Ripped in his start against the Red Sox, which was kind of fascinating in itself because all the numbers, all the metrics, all the splits, everything pointed towards Jose Urquidy having a good start against the Red Sox, and it did not happen. That was a road start, so maybe that is why Dusty's putting Urquidy out there now. He wants him home and not on the road because Urquidy got roughed up on the road last time out. But on the year, on the road, 3.86 ERA for Urquidy, a 3.35 ERA at home. So not a big difference. 3.86 on the road, 3.35 at home. The whip was tight at home, 0.90. A much better whip, 107 when he's on the road. But I really look at the ERA, 3.86 on the road, 3.35 at home. There's not a huge gap between how he's pitching at home and versus on the road. So I'd rather have him on the road, but they're going with him at home. Luis Garcia, so much better at home, but they're not going to do it. It could hurt them. Through the lineup, Urquidy's pretty steady. Doesn't get hairy at any point during the lineup or really during his pitch count. Even if you get the pitch count up, Urquidy is a solid pitcher. I think coming into the postseason, you trusted Urquidy more with playoff performance. He had the most postseason innings over the trio that we've sort of been looking at. And in the postseason, Urquidy, 5 2/3 innings. He pitched in 2019 against the Nats. Didn't allow a run, earned a win, so Urquidy has the World Series experience. Another reason why I'd rather have him start in Game 3. He's been there before. Also worth noting, Urquidy does not walk many hitters. His walk rate was in the 96th percentile with 1.6 walks per 9, so he's not going to give up a lot of walks. So we've got an Urquidy situation that you, for the most part, if you're Houston, you feel okay about Jose Urquidy. I think you'd rather, if you're looking at all the numbers, it makes more sense to go Garcia, but you can see Urquidy's numbers on the year here. We go to Max Fried next. Max Fried on the regular season, 14-7 with a 3.04 ERA. In the postseason, 1-1, 3.78 ERA, just 2 walks over 16 2/3 innings. So he has been stingy with the walks. In his career in the postseason, 15 games, 7 starts, 46 2/3 innings, a 3.86 ERA in the postseason. So he should be calm and controlled in this environment. Now, what is interesting to me are his splits against righties and lefties. So let's get rid of Urquidy. For his career, against lefties, they're hitting 235 against him. Righties are hitting 248. That is for his career. This year, he was tougher on righties. Lefties hit 240 against him. Righties hit 223. So for his career, righties were hitting 248. This year, they hit 223. So he's tougher on righties. Now, he's advancing in his career. He's getting better. So 223 against righties this year. But, and this is your hope if you're an Astros fan, in the postseason, every run he has allowed has come at the hands of a right-handed batter. Righties are hitting 308 against him in the postseason. Lefties are hitting 200. Lefties are 3 for 15. No walks, no runs allowed, 5 strikeouts against lefties. The righties are doing the damage, and that is where, getting back to the thumbnail, getting back to the original point, this game, it's so big for Altuve, for Bregman, and for Correa to do damage, because it could be a tough matchup for Brantley and Alvarez and Tucker. It could be. So those 3, A, B, C, Altuve, Bregman, and Correa, if they can't get it done tonight, big trouble. This is their game. Also, for Max Fried, point of note, first inning, his ERA is 4.82. Fourth inning, his ERA is 5.40. Those are his 2 danger innings. First inning, fourth inning. That's what you got to watch out for with Max Fried. Times through the lineup, first time through, 237, it's okay. Gets tougher, 209 is the opposing batting average the second time through. The third time through, you're getting up to 253. That's where you might start to watch and pull if you need to. So, also, I mentioned it earlier, but really the only impact from Game 1 that could be felt here in Game 2 is that I don't think A.J. Minter pitches. I think he is the only arm from either side that will not be, arm out of the bullpen, that will not be available, and that could be interesting because you've got Yordan Alvarez. Now, here's the beauty. Max Fried's a left-handed pitcher. You won't need to go to a situation where you need to take the starter out because you need a lefty-lefty matchup. If you had to do that with Charlie Morton, you'd have to do that with Ian Anderson. But in this situation, you've already got a lefty, so you're not going to have to take the starter out because Yordan Alvarez is coming up. You'll have the favorable matchup. So you won't necessarily have to lean on Magic. You might not miss Minter because Fried, the way if it's getting later in the game or if it's getting to crunch time and there's a lefty matchup, they'll leave him in. So, but you will not have Minter tonight. You could have him in Game 3. We'll see how things line up. We'll see who the Braves add to their roster. I think you could see Minter. I guess we'll just see how Game 3 goes, quite frankly. Because if they can get through Game 3 without using Minter, maybe Minter starts on Game 4. I'm really, the thing I'm most fascinated to watch is to see what do the Braves do with the pitching. Let's see. William, he pitches cooler weather. He struggles. Fried does. Let's see. Sheriff, if Max can establish his curveball early, the Astros will have a long night. I agree. Max could set the tone here. James D, I trust Smiley. Here, let me do something real quick. Get back to this. James, Braves 4-2. Is that your score tonight? You have Atlanta tonight 4-2, or are you saying 4-2 for the series? If Atlanta's your pick for tonight, we got you on the board. If you need me to change that, you can. Fried goes deep. You got him going 8. That would be big. That would just deflate the Astros. I mean, the momentum would just be sucked out of that. The life would be sucked out of that stadium, out of that clubhouse, down 2-0. Then the Braves, again, get into that situation. What are they going to do? Game 3, Game 4. They have not announced Ian Anderson for Game 3. Brian, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for subbing and joining Ballcap Nation. Welcome. I do think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Game 2 because, Game 3, do you go with Ian Anderson Game 3 to try to take a commanding 3-0 lead? Or do you feel like you got a little bit of room to play with and you can do your bullpen day Game 3 and you save Ian Anderson for Game 4? I'm interested to see how they play that out. Let's see. James D, I trust Smiley more than Wright. Neither are great options. I just don't trust Kyle Wright. Kyle Wright, what was it, last year? I understand he moved to a different side of the rubber, and he did that, and he was getting different results, but I don't trust Kyle Wright. And we just saw Smiley pitch well against LA. So maybe there's something between the ears with Smiley that sets him up better. And you got to think that they know that inside that clubhouse. Apple plays Anderson is a lock for Game 3. I mean, that makes the most sense. That would be the way to go. Bam, you have Atlanta tonight. Let me make sure I have. If I have missed your prediction, let me know. Because I'll get you on the board if I have missed your prediction. Apple plays, do you think Atlanta waits to see what happens in this game to decide? No, I think they'll make that decision before the game. I do. I think Smiley starts over Minter Game 4 from Busy. Baseball Domain, welcome in, my guys. How are you? Astros need starters to go long in the 4 innings. No doubt about it. That bullpen will be exhausted in Atlanta. You'll get to Game 5 or 6, and then the Astros bullpen will be struggling if they have an issue with their Urquidy only making it 2. You can't throw Odorizzi out again. You're going to go Greinke. That's your long man if you get in trouble tonight is Zach Greinke. That's not good. Let's see. Root Beer Kid. I have not seen you in here before. That's what's up, my man? Astros are resilient. Down 0-3 to Tampa last year. You have to win 4. They were down 0-3 to Tampa. Did they fall down 0-3? I'm trying to remember this. Rocky Adams, what's going on, Rocky? How are you? Good to see one of the channel members in the house. Good to see Rocky. Rocky with the red Ballcap Sports logo being a member. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. Who you have winning tonight? Let me get back to some of the comments. Root Beer Kid, Astros are they are resilient. Okay, they are resilient. But my point, if you've missed it, Altuve, Bregman, and Correa need to step up. Brantley can get 3 hits, and it doesn't matter. That's what happened last night. Brantley had 3 hits. You had hits from Brantley, Alvarez, and Tucker, but the problem was the guys before them and after them weren't doing anything. Sheriff, Atlanta will go for the gut punch if they're up 2-0. There's no way they don't allow that up with their young ace. This is a big game. They don't follow it up. Wait, let me read that again. Atlanta will go for the gut punch if they're up 2-0. There's no way they don't follow that up with their young ace. Ian, right, talking about game 3. Sergeant Adhesive has Houston to win tonight. All right. That is now 3 for Houston. And everybody else for Atlanta for the win tonight. James D. Braves getting a DH gives them a huge advantage. Being able to play all 4 of their outfield trade acquisitions is huge. Exactly, James. That was my X factor. I gave that yesterday. The DH was a big factor. And Jorge Soler was the DH last night. And he hit the home run. Set the tone. Baseball Domain, those Astros starters have struggled. Too much traffic on the base paths and give up too many runs. If they lose tonight, I feel like it's over for Houston. That's how it's going to feel. Jose Altuve, I'm pretty sure, is hitting below 175. Adrian, you've got the Astros. We're getting some Astro picks. Busy collecting. Houston was down 3-0 last season ALCS. They were, okay. And then they came back, but still Tampa made it through. They're a tough bunch. Rocky, yes, long time no talk. Just had shoulder surgery and recovering well. I think Astros bounce back to tie the series. I think the bats wake up. Okay, Rocky, let's get you in here. Hope you're doing well with shoulder surgery. Let's see. Hope whatever surgery that was fixes whatever problem you got, and you'll be good after a few months and some recovery and some rehab. I had surgery on my ankle 3 years ago. That's no fun. Surgery is no fun. Adrian De Leon, don't count them out. They got smoked by Boston and they made adjustments. Adrian with a good point. Real purple and gold. Morton is done and so is Atlanta. We'll see. Marcus Adams, Braves are going to keep applying pressure. The cheating Astros are done. We'll see. They're not cheating anymore. I mean, these guys aren't. These Astros, I don't think are cheating. Tyler Tabor, how will Houston handle going to Atlanta? The lineup, Yordan Alvarez is going to have to play left. It's Chas McCormick will sit, right? You'll have Tucker in center. You'll have Alvarez in left. And you'll have Brantley in right is what I think they'll do. Apple plays, are the Astros built to play in a National League park? They can do it, but they'll miss the DH. That's for sure. I mean, Chas McCormick, I guess let's think about that. Chas McCormick, he's been okay. He's been good, but he's not elite. It's not like you take Chas McCormick out and all of a sudden you're missing a whole lot. You know, now, is Yordan Alvarez a liability in left field? Maybe a little bit. Yordan Alvarez does have 2 triples in the postseason. So maybe those knees are feeling good. You hope they're feeling good right now. B2B Podcast, Braves in 6. B2B Podcast, who do you have winning tonight? Give me your prediction for tonight's game. We're picking game 2. Baseball Domain, I got Atlanta tonight, but wouldn't surprise me if the Astros beat up on Fried. Astros seem to love lefty pitching, and Fried has been getting roughed up by right-handed hitters. The righty bats hitting over 300 against Fried in the postseason. Dustin is burying Houston in 4 if they lose tonight. Charlie, Walter, Braves are historically a late-inning team. If they come back to win late tonight, I think it's demoralizing for Houston to recover. Here's the thing, though, Charlie. I do want to say this. Looking at the numbers, the Braves have a higher batting average. They're scoring more of their runs the first 2/3 of the game. The last half, the 7, 8, and 9 inning, the team is hitting 209. So they want to get the damage done early. Now they have the clutch hitting, right? Against the Dodgers, games 1 and 2, they walked it off in the bottom of the 9th, but they don't have the luxury of hitting in the bottom of the 9th until they go back home. So I think it's important that they actually jump out early. They can have the clutch hitting late, but you don't want to have to rely on that. It's okay. You can have that in the back of your mind when they're at home and they get last at bats. Maldonado plays an NL total. Yeah. 2 holes in the lineup. Right. Then you got the pitching and Maldonado. I got totally. That's a thing, Tyler. Anthony, do you see Fried struggle and still can Atlanta win? I don't think they'll let Fried. I think if Fried's in trouble, they'll pull him. If they got to pull him in the 2nd or the 3rd inning, they'll do that. And they'll empty the bullpen, and then everybody gets a day off tomorrow. So they could get through that if Fried's struggling. James D. Darno and Swanson hit the ball hard last night. If they get hot, the Astros are in trouble. And remember, Darno and Swanson, their struggles came against, coming into this postseason, numbers weren't looking good. They were going against some of the best pitching in baseball with the Brewers and the Dodgers. B2B Podcast, you have Atlanta winning tonight. Let me get you on the board. B2TB Podcast has Atlanta. The atmosphere in Atlanta is just different. Look at how it fuels the Braves. It's going to be, that's why Houston has to win tonight. If Houston is down 2-0, you're telling me that they're going to win 3? I guess all they got to do is win 2 in Atlanta, but this is a big one. Soy de Cuba Astros will come back tonight. Let me get you on the board with Houston. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks for the Astros. And if anybody's wondering, I'm at the top of the list. I do have the Astros winning tonight. I do think they even the series up. A lot of what you guys have said out there. The resiliency, the ability to come back, Max Fried, righties and lefties splits in the postseason I don't love. There's a lot of reasons why I think Houston can bounce back. But I'll say this. If you get another game from Altuve, Bregman, and Correa, 0 for 12 with 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, they're done. But I can't see that happening 2 games in a row. Charlie, you have Houston tonight. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We are at 70 viewers. We just hit the 70 number. If you're new to the channel, just finding me for the first time, I'm seeing a lot of new names in the chat. I absolutely love that. Thank you for finding the channel, clicking on it. You could be doing anything else right now. It's the middle of the day on a Wednesday. You could be doing anything else. You might be doing other things. So I appreciate you being here. If I could hit a like for you guys, I would. Please hit the like for me. And subscribe if you're new. If you're just finding the channel for the first time, please subscribe. This is a regular thing. This is not a one-off thing. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, talking about Game 2. Let me see. Charlie, I've Houston tonight. Apple plays. Braves haven't lost at home this postseason. I think you're right. You're right. Now, Houston has now lost twice at home. That was the second loss that they've had at home, but you're right. Baseball Domain, Jordan in the field should be scary for the Astros. What you'll have with Alvarez is at any point in that game when they feel like, all right, he's not going to get up again so late in the game, I got to think you pull him out. Chevy Corvette must win for Houston, and more games equal more money for the MLB. I mean, yeah, obviously Rob Manfred's sitting there crossing his fingers and hoping for 7 games. You know, as a content creator, 7 games would be great because it's more of this that I get to do, and I get to do stuff. So 7 games would be great for me, but at the same time, I'm excited to see how this plays out. Jay, Houston looked a bit worn. Atlanta had so many things fall their way and refreshed. The Braves destroy at home as well. That's why I think this is their year. Things are all, I mean, obviously, they took game 1. So everything is pointing in the favor of the Braves right now. Comment, if you have not given me your pick for tonight, who do you have winning game 2? We are mostly Braves. Brave picks all over the place. Let's get a new side of the whiteboard up here. I'm trying to move something around here, guys. Bear with me for 2 seconds. There we go. Let's see. James D, this year is for Hank. It seems like it's their year. I'm with you. There definitely seems to be some vibes there. Baseball Domain wouldn't be surprised if the Braves finish this off in 5. At this point, I know. All we have is today! Exclamation question mark. I did my best to give you the exclamation and the question mark with that. I don't know if you noticed that. But thank you for the sub. Welcome in. Thank you for joining Ballcap Nation. Welcome in. We are at, I think the number's 37 likes. Can we get to 40? I like those benchmark numbers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all of that. 3 more likes. Are there 3 of you out there that have not used your like yet and could hit the like? Get us to 40. Chevy, you have Houston tonight. Let me get you on the board. Kyle, you have the Braves tonight. Kyle Carter at Atlanta. If Atlanta wins tonight, that is really going to do a number because we talked about it earlier. Luis Garcia on the road, you don't love. Luis Garcia on the road is not a good pitcher. His ERA is double what it is when it's at home. It is a bad sign if you have Luis Garcia going in that game 3 if you're down 0-2. So you don't feel comfortable at all. I think Dusty's making a mistake. I think Dusty is making a mistake. If you agree with me, and we're over 40 likes. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. We're at 43. We're on our way to 50. We'll get to that point when we get to that point. But I think this is this could be a big mistake for Dusty. Going with Urquidy over Garcia. I would much rather like to see Garcia out there. Let's see. And again, thank you for the like, Adrian. All we have is today. Another long-time Braves fan here. Bravos with the dub tonight. All right. You have Atlanta. Maserati Swift with a Houston pick. I got you. Brenda, Houston. B2TB Podcast, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Welcome to Ballcap Nation. Isn't that cool? You didn't know that. You didn't wake up this morning thinking, man, what new nation could I join and be a part of today? What new nations are out there? Well, Ballcap Nation's gotcha. Let's see. Did I get you, Brenda? I got you. Okay. Jay, whatever happens, I've loved how the community has interacted and love Houston fans. They've been hella classy. I agree with you. Baseball domain, an opener might be warranted for the Luis Garcia start. I know. Astros haven't been down 0-2 in this postseason, right? They were down 0-3 last year against Tampa. I have been reminded of that. And they came back, but it still wasn't enough. They were down 0-3. They did not get to the World Series. Jeremy, go Braves. Jeremy, are you taking the Braves tonight? I'll put you down there. I have a feeling you are. It would be a big curveball if you said go Braves and then picked Atlanta for tonight's game. Anthony, Braves must take advantage of every opportunity with men on base. Agree. I mean, we know the Astros have been great at that, right? Hitting over like 350 with runners in scoring position, hitting over 300 with 2 outs. The clutch hitting kind of fell apart last night. Yes, see if it gets back together. Maserati Swift, welcome in. Thank you for the sub. You are a part of Ballcap Nation. We're not a gigantic nation. We're a solid nation. We got 10,000 people. We could take out a few other nations in other parts of the world, right? I think we got enough. We could take them out, but welcome in. Let's see here. Let me get back to you guys. Anthony, Braves take advantage of opportunities on base. Yes. Naveen, do you think the injury of Morton makes a difference? I think it would make a big difference if Atlanta lost last night. B2TB Podcast, love the name and the energy. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And again, I'm glad you're a sub. Baseball, that's what the channel's all about, baseball. So thank you for the sub. Thank you for being here. But Naveen, about the Morton, if Atlanta had lost and they were down 0-1, yeah, I would think that'd be trouble because you feel good with Fried and Anderson. And if they needed to, and those two will each start 2 times. So there's 4 games. If you had to go, if you needed them to win 4 games, you might have a situation where Fried is starting on short rest. But with them winning last night, now you're going to get 4 starts from Fried and from Ian Anderson. They don't need that. You need 3 wins out of those games. All right. Apple plays. Am I the only one that wishes these games started at 7? I 1,000% do. My son loves baseball. Wishes he could watch the World Series. I let him stay up past his bedtime to watch the first inning, and that's all he gets. And then he'll wake up in the morning and he'll watch the replays before school. He's going to be 7. He's little. He's got a bedtime. We got to stick to that. It would be great if it started at 7, but they're thinking of the rest of the country. And, you guys that are out there in the Central and in the West and in the Mountain Zone, you don't care about the time zone because it starts at 7. If you're in Chicago or Des Moines or Omaha or Dallas, right? It starts at 5 and at 4, so it works out. Jarrett Riley, you have the best last name in Ballcap Nation. My last name is Riley. Bet you didn't know that. Now you do. Thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to Ballcap Nation. But yeah, the whole time thing is interesting. It really only affects you if you're on the East Coast. Game went till midnight last night. I was checking out some of the live streams from some of the other content creators that are out there. The guys at Blue Jays today were live streaming with the game. It's just, even the guys at John Boy, they're talking baseball, watching baseball thing. By midnight, those guys that have been up for 4 hours, they're on the East Coast. They all looked exhausted. So it's a tough. That's late. That's a tough haul going that late. William Baker, Smiley's our best choice for a third starter. Snit may use an opener for his game like last time to take the pressure off. I agree with you, William Baker. I think that you could have Smiley taking a lot of innings game 4. Jay, last night felt like it dragged forever. It really did. Baseball Domain, if this series goes beyond 5 games, the Morton injury makes a difference. If it doesn't go beyond than 5, well, I mean, you have decisions. You have some tough decisions that have to be made. Let's see. Maserati rocking with Ballcap Sports. Guys, eventually we'll have some merch. I want to get some Ballcap Sports hats and hoodies and, get it out to you guys. I do have a hat that has the Ballcap Sports logo. I have a couple shirts that I just went to a local print shop and had some made, and but I gotta get some more. One day we'll have some merch for you guys, so you can really rock the Ballcap Sports thing. All we have is today. Sorry, I'm going to do that every single time. Losing Morton is awful, but Atlanta is almost numb to injuries affecting them to this point. They have dealt with a lot, and they've got through it. It's something. There's something to be said for having to go through that stuff, and be prepared, and have the ability to just let it roll off your back. Atlanta has been through that with Acuna, with Soroka, with Ozuna. Those were tough. You lose those guys, you're like, you're just deflating. But they've gone through it, and they've gotten stronger. So that's big. I think the Dodgers had a hard time getting over that because they really didn't deal with that during the regular season. The Bauer thing, losing Bauer was a distraction. I think some of them were like, good, he's gone. But going into the postseason, and all of a sudden, we don't have Kershaw? We don't have Muncy? What? I don't think the Dodgers were prepared to have that, just going through the losses and getting better. They had not had a chance to get better. They were going through a loss. They didn't have a chance to get better. Let me see. I got to get back to you guys. If series goes beyond 5, Maserati Sports, all we have is today. Apple plays. I have to be up at 5:30 and the game's don't end until midnight. I know it's rough. I got to get up at 7, which is not any hardship. I'm not complaining about that. But as soon as I get up, I got kids that I got to get up and get ready for school. So it's like get up and go. Get other human living beings up. Naveen, my prediction for today, I have Houston winning. Don't kill me. I know that most of you have picked the Braves. Do not kill me. I still think Houston finds a way today. I'm sorry. Don't leave. Braves fans, you don't need to leave. But I think that Houston can even it up at 1. Let's see. Apple plays. That's why 4 p.m. out west. That's still after the workday. William, Robbie last night was dying late. I bet he was. You know what? I totally forgot. I know Robbie. I know Robbie was doing some live stream watch-alongs for the AL and NLCS and all that. Yeah, he's been going for so long, dude. He needs a vacation once these playoffs are over. I can't do it. I would enjoy doing a watch-along every now and then, but with the kids, with my schedule, with everything, it's nearly impossible for me to do that. I actually would, I want to hop in with some guys that do the watch-alongs and just hang out with them for an inning or two. Problem is, Robbie can't do it. I've talked with Robbie about it before. His setup doesn't really allow for it. Same with the guys from Blue Jays today. The setups don't really allow for it. It's Streamlabs, just to go under the hood for a second. The Streamlabs situation, like it's a pain to try to get somebody on with you. And so then you got to go to another service like StreamYard. And the problem with StreamYard is you're restricted with how you can use some of your, like with the whiteboard that I have up, I couldn't do that. I couldn't put my Twitter account and my Twitch account up on StreamYard. So anyway, but that would be my thing, was to try to hop on with some other people who are doing it. Do I think the Braves could sweep? I think they could, yes. T. Cochran 236, thank you for the sub. Welcome to Ballcap Nation. I do know what I have found with those alerts. I do know that there are other people subscribing and we just don't get the alerts. I think it depends on if you have the setting turned on to publicly or privately subscribe to channels. So if you have it set up to privately subscribe, I don't think it gives those alerts. Because I am seeing, like, yesterday's stream. From yesterday's stream, I think we got like 10 new subscribers, but only 2 alerts. I think a lot of people with those with their settings set to sub privately. But I do think the Braves can sweep. My pick is for Houston tonight, but I do think that there's a very good chance the Braves could end up sweeping this thing. Nick Rivera, thank you for the sub. Welcome to Ballcat Nation, Nick. I appreciate you being here. I don't know if you guys noticed, like, I'm looking up the whole time because my screen has the chat, right above the camera. So if you're wondering where my eyes are and why they're going all over the place, it's because you guys are up there. My notes are down here. It's a mess. I said this the other day. My stream is held together with Scotch tape and rubber bands. That's how I'm doing this thing. So yes, I do think they sweep. Apple plays. I think it will make the other pitchers step their games up. Talking about, God, it's been so long since talking about the Braves pitching and Morton being down. I think that's what you're getting to there. Naveen, without injuries, are the Braves the best team in the league? They have the best record since the trade deadline. We know that. So you could argue that. They just took out the Dodgers, who took out the Giants. So you could say that the Braves are the best team. Obviously, if they win this, then yeah, all doubts aside. Without the injuries, the Braves don't remake the outfield right. And then are they here? Are they at this point? I don't know. It's a good question. But obviously, you want Acuna. You would have loved for the Ozuna thing to work out. T. Cochran, go Braves. Busy collecting. I mean, they might have been Acuna was on pace to win the MVP. And isn't that the biggest disappointment from this whole postseason, is that Ronald Acuna Jr. is not playing in the World Series. He's not getting the World Series. We want to see Mike Trout make the playoffs. We want to see Fernando Tatis make the playoffs. And we want to see these guys make the playoffs. We want to see him in the World Series. And we have one of the best young stars in baseball. He's not playing. It's not a given that Atlanta will be back next year or ever in his career. And he's not able to play. That is my biggest disappointment. What's your reason for picking the Astros tonight? So James, let me kind of rewind everything. I do not like Max Fried's splits against righties this postseason. I think there's no way that Altuve, Correa, and Bregman go 0 for 12 with 6 strikeouts again. I think Urquidy's a solid pitcher. I think just the Astros' ability to get up off the mat, to make adjustments, I think that they have enough in them to get through this game. That's my reasoning. Apple Plays doesn't see the Stars being held down 2 games in a, yeah, that's the thing. I think that they will get it together. Definitely Pablo Escobar, I'm not sleeping on the Astros. I have them tonight. Jay, you could do that with OBS and Streamlabs. That is true, but I'll be honest, I'm not good enough with technology. I think I might have figured out how to maybe bring StreamYard into OBS, but I'm not confident enough to do it and try it live. Quite honestly, because I think I would screw it up. The stream would get shut off. I would lose all of you. I know there's a way. There's OBS, there's Streamlabs, OBS virtual camera. If you know what I'm talking about, Jay, then you know what Streamlabs virtual camera is, but I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. B2TB, last name is Rivera. Apple Plays, he is there and watching and enjoying it with his team. Apple Plays Acuna, that is. Yes, it's good that he's there. I just wish he was playing. Who gets re-signed? Soler, Rosario, Duvall, Joctober. So, I believe it's Duvall and Joctober, Peterson that have options. So, we'll see. They're obviously not going to bring all four of them back. I think it would be smart to bring Rosario back because he's the lefty bat. And Duvall or Soler. I think they should bring two. Now, you got to remember, NL should have the DH next year. If the National League has the DH next year, that is good for Atlanta because they'll bring somebody back thinking DH. Soler could be the DH next year for this team. You got Drew Waters hanging out down there, and you got Christian Pache. Those two are supposed to be the future. But sometimes the future's now, and right now with Soler, Rosario, Duvall, and Acuna down the road, maybe that's the way to go. And you trade some of those other pieces off. I don't know. Let's see. Wrong about Fried. Sam, I'm not. This postseason, Max Fried, the righty bats are hitting over 300 against him. Every run he has allowed. Now listen, he's obviously facing more right-handed hitters. But righties are hitting 308, lefties are hitting 200, lefties are just 3 for 15. 5 strikeouts, no walks for Max Fried. Against righties, 308. All of the runs are against the righties. And my point is that Alvarez and Tucker and Brantley, I kind of trust them against those guys against any lefty right now. And then you throw in the righty bats that Houston has. The reason why Houston didn't win that game, one of the reasons, is that Brantley gets 3 hits. But the problem is, the guy before him did not get a hit, and the guy after him did not get a hit. Okay? Yordan Alvarez goes 1 for 3, but he doesn't drive in a run. Why doesn't he drive in a run? Because the guy before him did not get a hit. So Yordan Alvarez 1 for 3. He drew a walk and he got a hit, but he did not get to score. I think he scored 1. He didn't score more because the guy behind him didn't get a hit. That was the problem. And I can't imagine that happening again. I know Max Fried can be tough on righties. We talked about righties are only hitting 223 against him this year. But I just can't. It's the playoffs. I trust the playoff numbers. That's why I looked at the splits. Righties versus lefties in the postseason. 223 during the regular season. 308 during the postseason. It's different in the postseason. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. Sam, that's what I'm talking about. So I hope I cleared that up for you. Let's see. And I hope you're still here because I see that comment was a couple minutes ago. So I hope you're still here to see what I'm talking about. James, the team is great. Rebounding, I'm confident the Astros get the win. James, are you picking Houston? Do I have you down? James Oliver? Let me see. I don't think we have you down here. So you're going to pick, I'm going to put you down for Houston tonight. Let's see. James Oliver, going to be a great series and need to hit all our corners. Here we go. I'm trying to get my, okay. Let's see. Houston. Strike zone last night was tight early on. David, you got Braves with a sweep. So David Montgomery will get you on the board. You're obviously picking Atlanta to win tonight. James Oliver, Houston gets game 2 and game 3. We'll see. I don't like game 3 with Luis Garcia starting on the road. His road numbers are terrible. Apple plays. Even with the DH, I still want Atlanta to get a true center fielder. Acuna is best in right. No, it's a good point. I'm thinking about that. It's a good point. Let's see. I'm trying to get up to your comments. Can you explain DH and the importance of it? I'm new to baseball. I mean, designated hitter, you get your pitcher who hits 150 out of the way, and you get a guy that can hit 30 home runs in there. You don't have to worry about pinch hitting. You don't take guys out. You don't do double splits. I mean, when you have the pitcher hitting, it really changes the game and how you manage it. So you have the DH. Right now, the American League has the DH. The National League does not. The consensus is most want the DH across the board. I've come around to that point. I think it gives more jobs. It makes teams more explosive. And Atlanta would be a better team if there was a DH out there. How much of those stats come from the game against LA? Well, I mean, he started against LA and he started against, because he got 3 starts. He started against Milwaukee. I mean, it's the collective. It's the collective. I don't have exactly which start. Let's see. James Oliver, think Dusty should shuffle his lineup. That's a good question. I mean, with the lefty out there, I think you got to stay with Fried today. I think you got to stay with the righty lefty thing. I think you got to do that. And you got to hope that they get it, that those righty bats get it going. We do have a lot of people on the whiteboard. Let's see. Kevin Emmanuel Show, welcome in. Thank you for being here. You're picking the Braves tonight. Let's go Atlanta. We've got Jeff Andrew Simpson picking Atlanta. Again, if you're just finding the channel, what I love about today is there are so many new names, new faces, new people commenting, mixed in with people who've been here since we started doing the live streams. Apple is here, Steve is here, William is here, and then we have all these new names. So I appreciate everybody that is here. Naveen, I think I've seen you a couple times. Dr. 8, I know, I think I've seen you a couple times too. So I appreciate the new names that are jumping in here. And thank you for the sub. I appreciate the sub, James Oliver. Welcome to Ball Cap Nation. I said it earlier. We're not a big nation, but we're growing. That's the point. Welcome. Thank you for the sub. Let's see. So we got Jeff Andrew Simpson in there for the Braves. Jay, the American League gets it for any games they play at home. Right, exactly. Explaining it a little bit more. In NL, if it's an NL park, the pitcher hits. Rebra. Who is first to last next year in the American League East? I'm also a Rays fan, and I want to see the Jays do great. Because thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, Jays are, I'm a Jays fan. I want them to do great too. And first last year in the American League East, I will go Toronto, Tampa, New York, Boston. Can you do that? Oh, it's going to be tough. All 4 of those teams are going to have a winning record. And then the Orioles just getting crushed. Regular season means nothing. Postseason, it's the World Series. So it's no, but let me get to my point about the difference between regular season and postseason. In the postseason, David Montgomery, thank you for the sub. Welcome to Ball Cap Nation. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subbing. Michael Marsh, you have Atlanta. I'm going to get to my point in just 1 second. Michael Marsh, you have Atlanta. Jordan Kelly, you have Atlanta at 6. You have Atlanta tonight. Dr. 8, new names and faces is a good channel. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Game 2 is a must-win for Houston. It's trending that way. Baseball Authority, welcome in. Thoughts on Manfred wanting the Astros to open the roof? I guess I don't really have thoughts. I don't know. Does the ball fly more when the roof is open? I do not have any thoughts on that. Am I from Toronto? I am not. I grew up in way upstate New York. Toronto was the closest Major League Baseball team to where I lived, and I think that played into it. William Fulgham, how good a lineup the Braves have next year with Ozzie, Acuna, Duvall, Rosario? The lineup's going to be sick. Chicago running backs have a lot of time on their hands. All right, so my point about the postseason, listen, so here's the thing about postseason, regular season, World Series, okay? And I think you can put postseason and World Series together to a point. Regular season, you can shift. Guys are doing what the Kevin Emmanuel Show. Thank you for the sub. Again, welcome. Welcome to Ball Cap Nation. Here's my thing about the regular season to the postseason and in World Series. In the regular season, you can shift. You got spray charts. You got data. And for the most part, hitters are going to trend in that direction. But in the postseason, when every single out is crucial, you cannot look at the spray charts. I don't think you can look at the splits because with the splits, you can get a gauge with the splits, but you can't totally trust it because you're playing teams that aren't good. You're playing hitters that, yeah, they want to get a hit, but it's not like their season depends on them getting a hit. So they don't care if they strike out. They're still trying to hit a home run or they're still trying to pull the ball. But during the postseason, you're going to see guys going the other way that we're not going the other way all of a sudden. So that changes. These hitters are different. Yeah, they're going to look for their first pitch early in the at-bat. They might play to their strength and play to the spray charts and the splits. But as you get deeper into the at-bat, things change because now that guy's like, I got to get on base. So he might take more pitches. He might go the other way. He might bunt. He might do this. He might do that. And it's all because it's the postseason and every out means more than during the regular season. So I think you can take postseason stats and apply them because you are still playing the best. You're playing the best teams. That adjustment is there for the hitters in the postseason, and that's big. Now we don't. And the other thing is, at least on the Braves side, we don't have a whole lot of World Series numbers to go on. We did with Charlie Morton, and we talked about Charlie Morton and his World Series numbers yesterday. But outside of him, there's no World Series numbers to go on. We got Jock Peterson, who's played in the World Series. But Jock and Charlie Morton, there's your World Series experience right there. And now Morton's gone. So that's my long-winded, around the corner, fork in the road, way too much information. You probably fell asleep while I was talking explanation. The crowd is going to be big. James Oliver, I see your comment there. The crowd will be big. Dr. 8, you have Atlanta. Dr. 8, do I have you on the list? I don't. Let me get you on the whiteboard. Anyone else that has not given me a prediction yet? Who do you have winning tonight? This is not the series. We already did that. We did that on Monday. Who do you have winning tonight? And remember, I'm coming back. This live stream, this interaction, this community that you guys are building. I'm the vessel. You guys are the community. We'll be back again tomorrow. Same time. Let's see. Derek, you have... Okay, Russ, you have an Atlanta sweep. So you obviously have Atlanta tonight. Let Me Pipe. Welcome in, my friend. How are you? Let Me Pipe has Houston tonight. You're not Let Me Pip. You're Let Me Pipe. There we go. Let's see. Russ, you have Atlanta. Astros will win it all. We've been in this position several times for a reason. That's why I think Houston can win tonight. They have been in this position. Danny Boy, Atlanta for the win. I'm just typing your comment. Another glitch. That's like the third or fourth glitch by me in this stream. Derek, Astros win tonight. We are getting some more Astro picks. Edgar, you have Astros tonight. Ryan McDonald, welcome in. How are you? Braves tonight. Jordan, Atlanta tonight. No trash cans tonight. I know. Hey, listen, you gotta be used to that now. Any Astro fans? MC to the Matrix. Houston tonight. Dr. A, 2017, it was Springer. 18 bets, 19 Turner, 20 bets. The number one hitter is crucial. Altuve has to be better. Right. Can't go 0 for 5 again. Jeffrey, happy Halloween to you as well. Brian, you aren't allowed to mention trash cans in Minute Maid Park. Security will escort you. Can anybody tell me? Waste management is on the outfield walls at Minute Maid Park. Has anybody else picked up on that? I'm just saying. I don't think waste management should be allowed on the outfield walls at Minute Maid Park. Step back, Wolf. Astros have to win one at home. Do you have them winning tonight? Ben King, you have the Braves tonight. Do you guys hear me clicking? Anybody getting some ASMR tingles? This is not an ASMR channel, but you know, if you're getting your ASMR from me clicking on the keyboard, then you're welcome. Ryan, you've got the Braves for the sweep. Could happen. Last World Series champions all had great number one hitters. Saul Lopez, thank you for the sub. Thank you for joining Ballcap Nation. Appreciate you. Glad to have you here. Right, I'm glad you're Gucci. I'm Gucci. We're all Gucci. Derek Bannon, thanks for all you do, buddy. Appreciate you keeping me company at work. Right on. Hey man, if I can be a distraction for you at work, then right on. Ben King, Braves Nation. Braves Nation is in the house. What team didn't make the playoffs that you think will go next year? The Blue Jays. James Oliver, perhaps Waste Management were the ones doing the bagging. I just don't understand. It just seems so ironic. Put him somewhere else. I mean, give him a sponsorship, but, you know, can you put him somewhere else? There's the joke. I wonder if they supplied the trash cans. Brian Wellington, Jays, they are so primed. I agree with you. Jays are ready to be there, and I think they're going to make a big splash this offseason. Let me pipe. Trust me, the OG Astro fans are confused by it. You can't also have the sign that says, pay Correa. They'll take it from you. Really? Gee, that's crazy. Ben, you've got Atlanta in 6. Step back, Wolf, you have the Astros winning tonight. We're on page 3 of the whiteboard. What is that image? Ryan, ball cap the GOAT, no cap, or should I say ball? What is that image? That image looks like a person carrying a goat. It is a goat. That might be it. I might need to shut it down. I see it's a goat. But when I first saw it, I looked at that thing and it looked like a person carrying another person over their shoulder. Thank you, Ryan. Russ, I like ATL alternate run. Ben, how about Morton striking at 2 and a fracture? I know. Broken leg, and he's out there getting 4 outs and striking out 2 batters. Kevin Emmanuel Show, Houston can come back, but I hope not. But if Houston loses tonight, they are in big trouble. Big trouble if they lose tonight. Big trouble if they lose tonight. Mariners can make playoffs as well next year if they make big signing, and I think they will. I think the Mariners are going to be in on one of those big shortstops. I think they let Seager go. There's $20 million in the pocket, and invest that. You're going to need a little bit more than that, but invest that in Trevor Story, Marcus Semien, Carlos Correa. Seattle will be a destination for Carlos Correa. Don't be surprised. I've done this before. Don't be surprised. A cold day in January. You know, we're putting the decorations away from Christmas. We're looking ahead towards the next cold 2 months, and we get the tweet alert from John Heyman. Mariners interested in Carlos Correa. Like, it's coming. I think Carlos Correa could be a fit for the Mariners. Dr. 8, whoever wins tonight wins the series. Houston could win tonight, and I don't think that makes them a lock to win the series. It gets them back in it. If they lose tonight, I don't think they win this. I think there's no chance they win if Houston loses tonight. If they win tonight, I think Atlanta is still in the driver's seat. Ben King, bold predictions, Yankees miss next season's playoffs too again. Well, Ben, to your point, if Toronto's going to be better, which I think we all we could all probably agree, for the most part, that if Toronto and New York had played in a one-game series, Toronto would have won. Toronto was the better team. So it's not out of the question. If Boston is good again, then you'll have a situation where you could see Tampa, Toronto, and Boston top three. Step back, Wolf. Jeff Passan said Seager will be a Yankee shortstop and will get $300 million. Passan said that. I mean, I think Seager makes sense for the Yankees. They want to get Glaber out of that shortstop spot, move him to second. You can let Rizzo go. Right. I don't know if Brian, though, that money, he's going to get some real big money, and going a major market like that could give him some big time dough. Maybe he doesn't get 300, but he's going to get a lot of money. Seager, the sticky point with Seager is that he's got the injury history. What team wants to go and dump that much money for a guy who has been injured so much in his young career? And when you're paying for him, you're going to have him. Yeah, he's still in his 20s right now, but you're going to have him for his 30s. And as we get older, we don't get healthier. So that's the interesting point. And Correa has the same thing. Both Correa and Seager will have the same conversation with teams about their health. And the teams will be using that in negotiations. Let's see. Jays World Series 2022 from Rocky Adams. Rocky, I'm feeling it, man. I like it. I'm excited about the team next year. Dr. 8, all teams that beat Houston take at least the first two. You bring up a good point. It's happened before. I know it's happened before. Kevin Emanuel show LA if they stay healthy. Nats took the first 2 years ago, and it's still right. That was the series where the road teams won every game. P Money, the Jays are not better than the Yankees. What did the Yankees do? Like the better pitcher was on the Blue Jays. Robbie Ray, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole was terrible the second half of the year. I could talk about this in circles. Garrett Cole was terrible last year. The second half, his ERA was like 4.5. Robbie Ray is the better. They had the better pitcher. The Blue Jays had the better number 2 pitcher. Like if you matched the Yankees up with the Blue Jays had the better first baseman. They had the better second baseman. They had the better shortstop. The Yankees had the better third baseman. If you had anybody for the Yankees at third, right? The Yankees had the better third baseman. That outfield, okay, I'll give you Judge, but Teoscar and Springer and Gurriel in September. The closer situation, Chapman's the name, but Jordan Romano's lights out. I'm not here to get into an argument with Yankee fans, but I know I'm a Blue Jays fan, so there is some bias. But just trying to turn off the Blue Jay fan, I think the Blue Jays are a better team. The Blue Jays did not make the playoffs. They missed it by 1 game, and they blew. And this is what they did wrong. They blew at least 10 games during the 2021 season. The bullpen, there was a game where the bullpen basically walked everybody. They walked the bases loaded like 2 times around. It was just a conveyor belt of walks. Marcus Semien, the final out of a game, spiked the ball to first. They didn't get the out that would have ended the game. There were 10 games that the Blue Jays just blew. And if that didn't happen, they're making the playoffs and they're making a run, and the Yankees would have missed the playoffs. So, I'm sorry. If you get me going on a Blue Jay thing, that's going to happen. Let me get back to you guys. Who do I like tonight? Russ, I have the Astros winning tonight. Marty, do we move Bregman down? They're going to have to do something. If Bregman struggles, they have to switch Bregman and Correa. Correa has to move up. Bregman has to move down. Joseph Urquidy going 4 innings followed by Javier. I think that they'll use Greinke tonight if that get in that situation. I think they want to save Javier for game 3. They may go to Javier if it looks like we need our best guy, because I think Christian Javier is the best pitcher for the Astros. but I think they would like to, if they need to, get like another Odorizzi kind of performance. I think they would probably go Greinke if they have the lead. If they're losing, maybe they go Javier to keep the game close. So we'll see. P-Money, they showed that when they had to be great to be the team, they couldn't. Right, and there's my point. And that is something you have to get with experience. So on paper, I think they were better teams. The Blue Jays made some big mistakes. They got to clean that up. But that's the performance. That's mental stuff. That's just throwing the ball into the ground. Or that stuff you got to fix up, because from a team's standpoint, from the statistics, from the players, I still think if you're drafting Blue Jays and Yankees, if you take the first 10 picks, I think you're taking more Blue Jays. And I think you have more Yankees at the back end of that draft than you do Blue Jays. Dr. 8, Blue Jays are a good team, right on. Let's see. The Blue Jays did win the series against the Yankees. Blue Jays swept the Yankees in the Bronx. Yeah, I don't know if it was sticky stuff. I'm not, it might have been sticky stuff. It might not have been sticky stuff, but he was not the same pitcher second half of the year. Chatwood was a mess. Chatwood cost the Blue Jays a game or two. I'm okay. Listen, Ryan Chatwood gave my son his first baseball from a baseball game, okay? I have it on video. There's a video blog from it. Chatwood's in the bullpen. He tosses up a ball. I gave it to my kid. So Chatwood gave my son his first ever, game ball from a baseball game. So I like Chatwood in that sense. So I don't want to bust on Chatwood, but Chatwood did blow some games. Chatwood blew some stuff. P-Money, I see. Listen, the Blue Jays had the better record against the Yankees, 11-8. P-Money, seriously. All right, here we go. In the chat, this needs to be decided. Who's the better team? Who are you taking next year? Let's say you run back the rosters that they had this year on the last day. Need you guys, everybody, don't go anywhere. If you're here, don't go anywhere. We're deciding something right now. This is important. This is up to you. Hit 1 if you think the Blue Jays are the better team. Are Blue Jays the team if you had on the last day of the year? That team. Or the Yankees, that team. 1 for Blue Jays, 2 for Yankees. This has to be decided between me and P-Money. P-Money, I love you, buddy. Who do you want? 1 Blue Jays, 2 Yankees. Type it in the chat. Who do you want if you had to pick a team? Who's going to be better next year, Blue Jays or Yankees? 1 for Jays, 2 for Yankees. And then I'll wait because there's a delay, there's a lag with the chat. When I say something, it takes like 30 seconds for anything. So you guys decide it. Jays, 1 for Jays, 2 for Yankees. Who do you want? And P-Money. These are a lot of Braves fans in here, a lot of Astros fans in here. I mean, the Blue Jays, you got Vladdy and Bo, Simeon. Again, remember, in this scenario, we're running back with Simeon. Robbie Ray's going to be the Cy Young. There's just so much. We're seeing more 1s than 2s. I mean, I'm just saying. Dr. 8, Ryan, Apple Plays, Greg, Derek, Bam, John V, Hong Lee, Marty, William, all going 1 with Jays. Samson, 2 for the Yankees. It's a rout right now. Rocky Adams, thank you, buddy. A member for 9 months. To me, the Jays, Tigers, Mariners are going to be major players this offseason. You need to. I have one. I've put all the pieces together. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to put it out the day after the World Series concludes. I have my video for my top 10 free agents and predictions on where I think they're going to go. So I have that coming up. It's ready. I have put all the pieces together. I just need to do some final editing. I'm holding on to it. Ryan McDonald, get some Mariners fans in here too. I find that we get more activity when the team's doing better. So the Mariners fans will come. You just need the team to do better. That we're not. No way. Okay. Do we have to do it again? Take my word for it. P Money. This is not a chat full of Blue Jays fans. There's probably I see 66 viewers right now. Maybe 10 of them are Jays fans. All we have is today. You guys are gonna get so sick of that. The true Braves fans will never pick the Yanks. That's true. It's gonna be. I mean, P Money, to your point though, it's a conversation. It's a debate, and the fact that it's a debate means it doesn't swing one way aggressively in the other. In my opinion, it is a debate. It's not a no-brainer. Like if you were to come and try to tell me that the Orioles are better than the Blue Jays, right? That would be insane. It's a debate. Both teams are good. The window is open for both teams to try to win the East next year. It'll be a fun year. Hope you guys are having a good time hanging out. We are at 2 hours now. This is only supposed to go 1 hour, but you guys have been keeping it going. The nation, the community that we're trying to build, you guys keep this thing going. So I appreciate that. I want to check something real quick. We have, and again, if you haven't been here for me to say it, please subscribe. Stay close to the channel. Even if you're not a Blue Jays fan, it's all good. If you like baseball, there will be weeks where there's nothing Blue Jays related on this channel. So I think you can get down with most of the content that I put out there, and I do not put a Blue Jays bias on the videos. I've got my top 10 free agents coming up. I think maybe I have the Blue Jays signing one of them. Yeah. So listen, there's no Blue Jay bias with that. We are at 58 likes. Are there 2 more people in here that have not used their like yet and can put us over 60? Hit that like if you haven't. I appreciate you guys being here. If I could give you guys a like, I would do it because it's the middle of the day. It's a work day. It's a Wednesday afternoon now on the East. You could be doing anything. You could be doing 100 other things, and you're hanging out here, talking, chatting, spending some time with the channel. So I appreciate that. You guys, awesome. It's just awesome to have you guys here. I'm greatly appreciative of that. So if you appreciate what we're doing here, hit that like. It's a great way to support the channel and to support the video and support everything that we're doing. This effort that I'm putting into trying to create this middle of the day outlet to talk baseball. MLB The Show. I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. I thought about it, and I don't know what I'm doing with the show anymore. I'll be honest with you. The game has pissed me off more than I would like lately. I think that the way the game is set up, if you play MLB The Show, hit 1. Hit 1 if you play the show. The problem I have right now with the show is that everybody has a 99 level 5 starting pitcher, and it's impossible. It's even harder to hit. And I'm not that bad at hitting, but it is impossible to hit now with a 99 level 5 Chris Sale, that Cliff Lee, the Jacob deGrom, I think it was the All-Star game deGrom. I mean, I can't hit, and I'm done with it. I think we're getting to the and the players who are still playing are, the guys who are just they'll end up playing 1,000 games online. I don't know. I'm just not down with the show the last couple days. I'm still hopping on and doing daily missions, trying to get the Jim Thome 99, and we got the Cy Young one, but I don't know. Let's see. Let me get back to you guys. Apple plays. If you had to choose one of the following to start a team, who would it be? Acuna, Soto, or Tatis? Ooh, Soto, because he's a lefty bat. Sorry, did I make that? I don't mean to make that too easy, but I would go Soto because he's a lefty bat. Let's see. Tatis makes too many errors at shortstop, and Acuna is injury prone. I don't know. Rocky, Mark Shapiro already said the Jays payroll is going up. It is. I have a video, 4 different options that they could put together for their free agency. I have that up. You guys can check that out if you want. Ryan McDonald, I'm watching you instead of doing school. Sorry. Hey, I hope I can teach you something and you can at least come away with something. Let's see here. Patrick, go Houston. Do I have you down with a pick? Patrick, if you want to get on the whiteboard with the Houston pick, let me know. I haven't played Madden in a long time. I was amazing at Madden in the early 2000s. I would crush people, and then I stopped playing, and I haven't played now in so long. Ryan plays the show. Isaac plays the show. Anthony, I see the Blue Jays better with less money on payroll. P-Money, I think the Jays are really good. I'm just saying I think Yankees are a lot more experienced and better overall team. I think the Jays have more raw talent, mainly offensively, but that doesn't matter there. Right, so I will say this about the Yankees. The Yankees have more potential. The Yankees did not come with their full potential this year. I'm glad they fired Eric Thames. That needed to happen. They struck out too much. Runners in scoring position, they didn't come through. I think you move Torres from short to second. You're better. I think you get a new hitting coach. Maybe he can get Joey Gallo fixed. Joey Gallo was his worst self with the Yankees. That's not who Joey Gallo is. Get a new hitting coach in there to get Joey Gallo right. The team had the most top 5 or 6 in home runs, but they were bottom of the league in doubles. And with overall hits, we're counting singles. They didn't do that either. So they were hitting home runs, but they weren't getting guys on base. And then when guys were on base, they weren't getting hits. New hitting coach should fix that. Step back, Wolf. Imagine if the Braves had Acuna. I wish they had Acuna. It's so disappointing that they don't have Acuna. Thank you, Ryan. I'm glad you're here. Don't worry. We'll get you figured out with school. If you need your teacher to give you if you need someone to give you like a out of school slip or something like that, just let me know. 62 likes, so we did pass the 60 number. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Shibby game getting money. Let's go Braves. Not a fan, but rooting for them for my Giants. Yeah, sorry, the Giants didn't make it. 107 wins, it wasn't enough. But the Giants, that series. You guys haunted the Dodgers after that thing was done, and the reason the Dodgers aren't here is because of the Giants. You did not get to eliminate the Giants head-to-head, but you're a big reason that they did not have anything left for Atlanta. Not taking anything away from Atlanta. Atlanta earned it. But the Dodgers were just that Brave series. The pitching was exhausted. We saw some flaws with Dave Roberts as a manager. There's a lot there. Let's see. Let's go. P-Money. For sure, Marcus Thames wasn't even a good hitter. Yeah, I don't know how he... right? How is he a hitting coach? Aside from Judge's stand, almost everyone was below average. Yeah, I mean, it was down. I mean, I'll say this about DJ LeMahieu. I kind of saw the DJ LeMahieu regression coming because his XBA, his launch angle, there were metrics for DJ LeMahieu that pointed in the direction where if he even started to get a little bit unlucky, that his batting average was going to drop and the power was going to drop. And that's what happened. So maybe he gets lucky again next year. And you can see how good he is when luck is in his favor. When, he's because what we've seen is, the XBA is in the high 2s. I'm trying to go off memory. The XBA was in the high 2s, but he was hitting like 350. So it means he's getting hits on stuff that usually would be an out based on exit velo and launch angle and all that stuff. He was getting really lucky for his contract year, and it kind of came full circle. I don't think he was trying any less harder. I just think it just wasn't in his favor. Kevin, thank you for the like. Ryan is homeschooled. All right, so you're home, so it's a little bit easier to kind of, get distracted with some other things. I tell you, if I had been homeschooled, I don't know how I would have done. I would have been so distracted. How will the CBA affect free agent signings? Dude, the whole CBA thing. William Fulgham with the downer. The CBA thing is, I got to look into it some more. I'm worried about the CBA. I am worried about the start of next season. I don't know. Look at how terrible those two teams were last year. Those two sides, the players and the owners, when they were trying to get a season going last year, and we ended up with a 60-game crap fest. Do you really think they can come together on a CBA? I do not. We have the wrong people in place to get this done right now. Tony Clark is the wrong person for the players. We have the wrong commissioner in place to get things done. The representative for the owners. Why am I forgetting his name right now? I can't remember his name, but I remember him giving me fits when they were trying to work things out last year. I just don't trust him. And then the players brought the grievance. The CBA thing. I don't know. That's a great question. It could slow things down. The whole CBA thing is going to be interesting. I'm not afraid to say this. A. Maury, newsflash genius. Not every hitting coach was a good hitter. Fair point. Point taken. What's the saying? What's the saying? People who can't teach, right? Something like that. I get your point, though. Dale Thompson, how tough was Morton? Dude, tough. And it's too bad, too, because he's establishing himself as one of the best pitchers in the postseason, and now he's gone. Juice Ball helped DJ with power, too, but he also had a core injury, a sports hernia, and a strained triceps injury, but played through it. I think he'll be in between 2020 and last year, about 315, 20 homers. Yeah, I think there's a bounce back year for DJ LeMahieu coming next year. Yeah, the commissioners right now. Who's the commissioner for the NBA right now? Why can't I think of his name? Can he just commissioner everything? Can he just be like the commissioner of sports? And he can be the commissioner for football and baseball as well. Do you think he's got the time for that? I think he's done a fair job with the NBA. I can't remember his name. People who can't do teach. Right there it is. There it is. Dr. 8. That's what the Yankees were hoping for with Thames. Freeman hasn't gotten going in the series. Hasn't gotten one of his hot streaks yet. Had a few good games. Adam Silver. There it is from Step Back Wolf. Adam Silver. All right, guys. Here's the deal. It's 1 o'clock. I got to go grab some lunch. We will be back tomorrow. I hate to end this abruptly, but we are going to wind this down. Dr. 8, best hitter in baseball, Juan Soto. Juan Soto's right up there. Juan Soto is definitely up there. Let's see. So here's what we're going to do. Tomorrow I will be back. 11 in the East, 8 in the West. So if you want to talk more about whatever happens tonight in Game 2, make sure you come back tomorrow. We will pick this conversation up then. You guys have been great today. A bunch of legends here. You guys, we have new members joining. We have a lot going on here with the channel, so I appreciate every single one of you that hopped on. Even if we did not agree, I'm glad you're here. Make sure to subscribe on your way out. Hit that like on your way out. It is a great way to support the channel. It's not all about super chats. It's all about likes. If you hit that like, it's a big thing. I'm sorry, Angel, you just came in. Come back tomorrow. I am going to be back tomorrow. The stream starts at 11 a.m. in the East, so make sure to come back tomorrow. We can pick this thing up. I got to run. We've been going for 2 hours now. We're going 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm an hour and 10 over. So I'm going to wind it down. I'm going to hop out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy Game 2 tonight. Big one. Big game tonight. Can the Braves take a commanding 2-0 lead, or can Houston get back into this thing and even it up at 1? That's going to be a big decision. Most of our picks went the way of the Braves. I'd say about 2/3 picked the Braves tonight, 1/3 picked Houston tonight. So we'll see. And I had Houston tonight. We'll see if that plays or if Atlanta can get it done with Max Fried. I do like Max Fried in this situation. I just think Atlanta, their experience, what they've done, they can get it done. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy Game 2 tonight, and I will talk with you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday.